There are numerous compelling reasons to avoid the news. For example, during a recent trip, I observed how challenging it is to avoid the news in public spaces like airports. This difficulty arises because networks such as MSNBC have contracts with airports to broadcast a curated version of their content, deliberately excluding coverage of any tragic events involving airplanes. Ultimately, the news is not primarily about keeping you informed. It is crafted to keep you captivated and continuously engaged. The constant barrage of sensational stories and breaking news alerts serves more to capture attention than to provide meaningful insight and can be troubling. This endless cycle of hype and speculation is crafted to exploit our natural curiosity and anxiety, ensuring that we remain engaged, often at the cost of our peace of mind and critical thinking. Instead of fostering a well-informed populace, it often promotes a reactive and fragmented understanding of current events. It is important to be an informed citizen. The news often fails to provide the best way to stay informed, especially when consumed in real time. This really captures our current situation. Many don't understand why headlines still take political people at their word. But so much of the news isn't even news. It's speculation or opinion about the news. There's a reason why the news is always developing, to keep you watching. They never say, "Here's the conclusive end of this story. You can turn off the TV or walk away now." That would be bad for business. It has to be ongoing and always breaking. The perpetual state of breaking news is designed to create a sense of urgency and dependency. This tactic not only keeps viewers hooked, but also ensures a steady stream of advertising revenue. It's a cycle that prioritizes profit over genuine enlightenment. The media landscape, dominated by hot takes and sensationalism, often detracts from thoughtful analysis and in-depth reporting. Instead of fostering critical thinking, it encourages a passive consumption of information, where the loudest voices often drown out the most substantive discussions. The focus on immediate reactions and polarized commentary diminishes the quality of public discourse. It reduces complex issues to simplistic sound bites and fuels divisiveness. Rather than illuminating the variation of a topic, it amplifies extremes, creating a distorted view of reality. This constant churn of information, opinions, and counter-opinions can leave people feeling overwhelmed and misinformed, rather than truly knowledgeable about the world around them. In this environment, taking a step back to engage with well-researched books, historical texts, or long-form journalism can be far more beneficial. These sources provide context, depth, and a broader perspective that the 24-hour news cycle rarely offers. They allow for a more reflective and informed understanding of events, free from the immediacy and sensationalism that dominate mainstream media. I'd prefer to catch up on a story once it concludes. I'm not just picking on political journalists, though it has become increasingly toxic. Sports journalism is similar. Here's a real sports discussion. Which team will win tonight? If we just waited, we'd have the answer. But this is the level of discussion in most sports shows. They are unanswered questions such as, are we being too hard on so-and-so? Or will so-and-so play tonight? These things resolve themselves if we just wait for the outcome. Team ABC will either win or they won't. Following the news daily doesn't change the outcome. Our system elects people to handle these issues, so we should focus on contributing to society rather than losing sight of everything else by following real-time news. Reading history or fiction would be more beneficial. If you want to understand the US-China situation, don't rely on Twitter pundits. Instead, read Thucydides's History of the Peloponnesian War. This 2,500-year-old book provides timeless insights into the dynamics between an ascendant and a dominant power. I prefer to read psychology, history, and political philosophy to understand universal, timeless issues rather than the trivia of the present moment presented by news. Learning the power of saying no is crucial. Whether it's saying no to the news or to various distractions, focus on what truly matters. Early in our careers, saying yes to everything gets you to climb the career ladder. But to excel past that, you must say no to what doesn't matter. For example, in sports, especially baseball, you become great by swinging at pitches. But in the major leagues, it's about plate discipline, waiting for the perfect pitch and not falling for deceptive ones. Waking up early provides stillness. The quiet of the house before anyone else is awake is precious. Getting up early allows you to start your day without distractions. Avoid breakfast meetings. Prefer to start with creative tasks or important work. There should be no phone for the first 30 minutes to an hour. You can use certain apps that can gradually increase this time for you. Using technology to beat technology addiction is fine if it helps achieve my goals. Starting the day intentionally is crucial. Marcus Aurelius' meditations were personal notes, not meant for publication. He wrote for himself, and it's an accident that we have his work. Philosophy is an active practice, a dialogue with oneself. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, Kennedy's doodles and notes show his journaling process, reminding himself of key concepts to calm his mind. This creative practice, whether doodling or sketching, is about low-stakes activities to get the juices flowing. Kennedy, under immense pressure, drew sailboats to calm his mind, emphasizing the importance of zooming out. And Frank wrote that paper is more patient than people, dumping her emotions and ideas onto it. Journaling is about processing thoughts with low stakes to perform better when stakes are high. Tackle the most critical and demanding tasks when your energy and focus are at their peak. It's a proactive strategy that guards against the inevitable distractions and demands that arise as the hours tick by. By prioritizing what truly matters, you lay a solid foundation for productivity and fulfillment, rather than getting bogged down by minor or reactive tasks. Embracing this method also instills a sense of accomplishment early on, which fuels momentum and confidence throughout the day. When the primary goals are achieved first, the rest of the day can unfold with less pressure and more flexibility. This doesn't mean other tasks are neglected, but rather that they are approached with a clearer mind and a greater sense of calm. Furthermore, this practice aligns with the philosophy of deliberate living. It's about making intentional choices rather than being swept along by the tide of immediate demands. By consciously deciding to focus on the main thing right away, I assert control over my time and priorities, ensuring that my efforts are aligned with my long-term goals and values. Ultimately, this routine is not just about productivity. It's about cultivating a sense of stillness and purpose. It's about starting the day with clarity and intention, setting a tone of mindful engagement rather than frenetic activity that the news so often tends to create. In doing so, you create space for deeper work, creative thinking, and meaningful progress, turning each day into a deliberate step towards broader aspirations. A short to-do list with a few important tasks is key. Successful people do a handful of important things well. By completing them early, you ensure a successful day. The rest is extra. Doing important tasks early, when you're in the right headspace, is crucial. A to-do list with a few core items is a win. After that, keep going and run up the score. But remember, don't wake up and run to your social media or the news or your phone. Leave your phone alone for the first hour or two that you are awake and be productive. Get that to-do list done, and the rest of your day will be more calm, relaxing, and satisfying. As always, Please continue this conversation in the comments with your fellow Stoic seekers. Like, comment, and subscribe so that our fellowship of Stoic seekers can grow and flourish together.